Rambling Hour with Lisa, live from the living room, well, dining room. Well, that's the living room, past that wall right there, and this is the dining room. And that is the fireplace that we don't actually use, but I put some lights there just so it looks nice for the live. Doing like a autumn Thanksgiving feel, just because it is Canadian Thanksgiving today and, well, tomorrow. Yeah, I guess. So, sorry, I'm getting it. Allison was just texting me. I didn't know what she sent, but the second text says, my Halloween costume, please. So I'm not sure what it is. I'll check later. Anywho, not important right now. I hope everybody is good and that you're having a wonderful Sunday. And today is October 10th. So that is my stepson Thomas's 20th birthday. So happy birthday to Thomas. And he was at his mom's today, so we're gonna go out for dinner and do cake and presents tomorrow. But yeah, that's so that is Steve's youngest biological. And I'm just gonna turn this a little bit because I can see that my ring light is up in the mirror. Wait, hang on, how can I do this? Oh, I had this all set before, but you know how it is. I want that in the picture. I don't know. Just, you know what? I'm just going to ignore it, I think. I'm just going to ignore that the light is in the mirror. Is that good? There's a little jail there on the side that it's like for putting your cell phones in, and it just sits on that table, but I don't really want it in the shot. That's why I'm turning it. So, hi Melody, happy Thanksgiving. So happy Thanksgiving to all my Canadian friends and family. And as you can see over here, I have the cornucopia, which is the horn of plenty, and it's a symbol that's used for like a harvest, like a plentiful harvest, which is one of the things that you're thankful for in America and Canada, because in the autumn it's harvest season, and if you have enough harvest to get you through a harsh winter, then you're grateful to be able to survive and get through another harsh winter. My mom asked me if they have Thanksgiving here in England, and I said no, they don't celebrate it here, because and then she said, what, they don't need to be thankful? And I said, well, you should be thankful every day. But I explained, like, you know, that it's about the harvest, and their winters aren't as harsh here. But I think it's still important to, you know, have a day that we're grateful for. And there's no reason that they can't adopt Thanksgiving over here and in Europe or around the world, really. It's just, it's like I said, it's always important to be grateful. And especially with the pandemic and a lot of people taking up gardening, I think they understand even more how important it is to be self-sufficient and self-reliant, and that you know, it is important, and when you put all that work in, you're grateful for your harvest. Not only that, but like if that's what you're relying on to get through a harsh winter, then definitely it's important. But yeah, Melody just said that. I heard you don't celebrate Thanksgiving there. Well, we got to think about in Europe, and especially in the UK here, they have had like buildings and heating systems and all this stuff. Well, heating systems, by that I mean fires, fireplaces and stuff in buildings. Like, they've had all those things for hundreds of years, so they haven't had to endure what, you know, in the new world, as it's called. This is the old world compared to the new world in the North America, when people migrated there and they had to homestead and work the land and do whatever they had to do to build somewhere to live and somewhere to get through it, especially their first winter, and then doing all the preservation of food and stuff that the First Nations have been doing for hundreds, if not thousands of years there, drying out fish and such. So obviously where there's frozen, where it freezes in the winter, there's lots of things meat-wise you can freeze even outside if animals don't come and eat it. I mean, in the past, you could have an ice box outside that you could keep the meat frozen and everything if the temperatures are below. But all your fruits and vegetables and a lot of root vegetables like potatoes, carrots, and that kind of stuff could be kept in a cellar or in a cold space where it would last for months. And as we know, like, even squash will last for months, if not years. I still have some squash that are still all right from last season. But yeah, so it was harsher in the last couple hundred years in North America and that is where Thanksgiving came from. It's a pilgrim holiday from from North America. So yeah, no, they don't have it over here, but like I said, there's no reason they couldn't, you know, adopt it. And even though I live over here, and on October 5th, it's been 7 years since we lived here, there's no reason that I can't still celebrate Thanksgiving here, because again, I want to be thankful for what I have every day of the year, but I still decorate for autumn, and yeah, and my family's celebrating it, so why not celebrate it as well? So by celebrate it, I mean I didn't make a big turkey dinner or anything, but I thought my hair looked cute up like that, but at the same time it's bugging me that it's uneven, because sometimes I just put it up like that to dry, so that is like scrunching the curls, so that when it dries halfway, then you put it down, it has more volume. But as you can see, my hair is wet. Why is that? Oh, because I was gonna dye my hair too because of my roots and stuff, but then I decided, no, I'm not gonna dye my hair. I'm just gonna do my workout and shower and get ready for my live, because then I am done my workout and I can just chill after my live, which is much more enjoyable. So that is why my hair is still wet, because after I did my workout, I showered and my hair is still wet. So how is everyone? Tell me what you're up to and what's been going on with you. I don't know if that looks any better, but I don't want to mess around with my hair. I just want it to be... Somebody's in my room. I can hear them upstairs. I'm guessing it's Erica. She's supposed to be going to bed, but she might be putting her phone... The girls, Erica and Aurora, we don't trust them, so they have to charge their phones in our room. When Allison got her own room, or was it when she turned 17 maybe, we let her start having her phone in her room overnight. But oh, I hear Erica talking. Oh, actually it might be Thomas, because he just got home, and he might be seeing Erica before she goes to sleep. So what else? I've told you about it being 7 years since we've lived here. Told you about it being Thomas's birthday and Thanksgiving. The other thing is, I noticed on Memories today, I didn't share it, but Memories on Facebook, today is 1 year since I've done my lives. So we're on season 4, episode 12. So I might take next week off, just because that was what I've been doing in between seasons, and then I'll start a new season the week after. But yeah, so it's been a year since I've been doing these lives, so 52 weeks, I suppose. And that, or even 53, depending because I did one on this day last year. Yeah, how exciting. So what else do I need to tell you guys about? So Fred the builder came yesterday to the house and started on the bathroom downstairs. He built the closet, what will be like the closet cupboard, storage cupboard thing where I'll put linen and everything in the bathroom downstairs. Next we need to install the shower tray and then get some into tiles. Sorry, the chair I'm on is one of our dining room chairs and it's a bit squeaky. The chair that I usually sat on for doing my lives, the big leather black one, although it makes its own noises. Thomas has it up in his room for playing video games. He sits on it instead of sitting on his bed, especially if he has the girls in there with him or whatever. Although they have their Xboxes now, I told you guys about that too, and Steve has his up in our room. So the 4 of them, Aurora, Erica, Steve, and Tom, will play Fortnite together and such. But which is good that they spend time together like that. And I have so many hobbies already of my own that Steve having video games, although they can be addictive, is kind of good, because then he's interested in that, and I can do something and not feel bad that, you know, I'm taking all my time doing something else when he has, you know, it's good to have interests separate and together. So yeah, and I've never wore this before. No, the shirt I've wore before, but this sweater, it's what did Steve say? I don't know if he said hippie-ish, but it is a bit. I ordered it online a few years ago, and I've always wanted to wear it out, and I hadn't wore it because I just really love it. So I thought it would be good for the autumn thing, although it is quite warm wearing it indoors. But I can't show you like how long it is, but it goes like quite low, maybe to my knees. I did finish reading my book, the one, what was it, Billy Fingers, The Afterlife of Billy Fingers, really good book. So I finished reading that, but I haven't really started the Heartberries yet. I've been really busy this week. I've been cleaning and getting things organized, and I went through all my, I can tell you guys that. So I went through clothes that they were either too small for me before. Sometimes when Steve gets certain clothes come into the warehouse, say a bunch of really nice clothes or whatever, he'll bring stuff home for us. And we had a bunch of clothes that was really nice, and some of it fit me already and some of it was too small, so I put some of that away. And so I took all that stuff that was too small for me earlier and tried it on, and a lot of it fits me now, but also stuff that I've had from even before. Not like a huge amount, but like a couple pairs of jeans. Sorry, the kids are yelling out there. A couple pairs of jeans, a couple pairs of trousers, and lots of shirts and t-shirts and stuff from even before I had kids. And of course they were too small for me, but I tried a lot of those on, and I can do up the pants, but I have a lot, you know, and like even skinny people, if you wear pants that are too small, you got a little bit of the roll that hangs over the pants. So the good news is I can do up the pants. The bad news is just because you can do them up doesn't mean they're the right size. So they're still a bit too small, hence the roll hanging over. But yeah, that's really cool that I can do up the pants that I wore before I even had kids 17 and a half years ago. So that was exciting, but I went through bins of clothes and, you know, stuff to send to the warehouse to get rid of, and put the summer stuff up in the loft. And then I brought down the Halloween stuff, and it's sitting up on the landing, up like on the balcony in our entranceway right now, waiting to come downstairs. The last 2 days I cleaned the dining room and living room, like super clean, like dusted the shelves and everything. And then I took pictures today of the autumn decor, and then I'm gonna, because as soon as I bring down all the Halloween stuff, I wanna go through it, and it'll just make the dining room full and messy and everything else, but it's important to go through it. What's most important is that I get out the stupid posters for this haunted house, because no matter how much I put into decorating and making the haunted house awesome, if I don't advertise soon, then people aren't gonna know about it. I just need to go over the details with Steve, because I don't think he really understands what it entails. And I also got to see which of the kids are going to help us, how many people I have to help. And then I need to decide if I want to do it just for 2 days, because it's our first one, so maybe on the 30th and 31st, which is a Saturday and Sunday, I believe, or if I wanted to do it 4 days, right? I talked about that last week, the Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I'm okay doing that, but that's 4 days of commitment for like Samantha and Steve and whoever else is helping us. So I don't know if I should make it a 2-day one, but once you have everything set up, it's only a matter of scaring people and letting them go through. So I'll have to talk to Samantha and Steve, and we really need to get this planned so I can get posters out. Very excited about the haunted house, like super duper excited. The only thing is, as I told you guys, the oak doors are sitting in the caravan, like in the guest house, which is what we're using for the haunted house, and they're sitting in the living room. So Steve's like, what are we gonna do with those? I might have to move some furniture out of there, stick it in the garage, and then put all the doors in a corner, and then maybe put some like black fabric over it and put like, I don't know, something on top of it, some decorations on top of it, just to make it look like a table in the corner or something, because I don't know, or else we'll have to bring all those oak doors and set them in the dining room. I have no idea what we're going to do with the doors in the meantime for the haunted house, but it's just really frustrating that I clean the whole caravan and I'm getting things ready for the haunted house, and then I love the doors, don't get me wrong, and I can't wait for them to hang in the house, but for Fred to do all the door frames and get them ready to hang the doors, that's going to take more time than we have till Halloween, so we'll have to decide something for the doors. Hi, Mom. Happy Thanksgiving, Mom, and anybody else who's watching. So what else? You might be able to hear that as well, like people walking around upstairs. The girls' room is right next to our room, but right above me is my bedroom. So it's weird to be hearing so much movement in my bedroom when Steve's gone out to play cards. So yeah, that's bugging me, but I'll trust that there's nobody in there doing anything they're not supposed to be doing in our room. Happy Thanksgiving, Karen. Sorry, I got distracted in my head there. Karen, you said busy. Are you busy? Am I busy? I'm guessing people in Canada are busy, because I know my mom said they're having turkey dinner today. But what time is it? So it's like afternoon there. So Mom, are you guys having turkey for dinner, like at supper time? Or are you having it this afternoon? I don't know. Here it's, as you guys know, it's in between 8 and 9 p.m. now that I do my live. So Yeah, my bedroom is busy. I know. I don't know. Like I said, Erica might be going in there to plug in her phone to charge. I'm not sure. Melody's making the turkey. Melody, are you guys having dinner at your place, or are you making the turkey and bringing it over to Mom's? And Karen, also small. Wait, what are we talking about now? What's small? Just, Orb just went behind you. Supper is at 4:30. About 4:30. Yeah, there probably is quite a few orbs that you might see. They seem to like to go around when I'm doing my live, which is weird because I never really see orbs any other time, but I do see them when I'm doing my lives. Going over to Mom's, that's awesome. So yes, happy Thanksgiving again to all my Canadians, friends and family. And I hope you guys have a really yummy turkey dinner, and I'm a bit jealous. Although I did take some old pumpkin pies out of the freezer because I'm going to make fresh pumpkin pies for people this year. So I have eaten a little bit of pumpkin pie in the last week with a little bit of whipped cream, but I'm trying not to eat too much of it because it's, yeah, I could eat the whole thing and that wouldn't be good. Thank you. The fireplace, like I said, we don't use it anymore. It's a gas fireplace, but because the gas was installed in a very dangerous way, going all the way around the house, it's disconnected. So I put some lights in there just to give some ambiance for sitting in front of the fireplace today. And you can't really see the decorations, which I thought was like a good spot to do my live because, you know, I tend to do it at least once here for each season. And actually, one of my first ones last year was the Halloween one, but I don't know if I had my phone turned the other way or not, but I sat here for the Halloween look. Thank you, Karen. Okay, Karen, have fun making turkey soup. That sounds good. No, I don't have any turkey soup. I have chicken soup in cans, but no turkey soup. So, yes. What else have I forgotten to tell you? Still working out and pretend fireplace. Yep, that's what it is. That's what it is right now. But I guess that saves us on money too because I don't even have the lights going in there all the time either. I'm gonna have a drink and then we can chat. There's no books that I was gonna show you this week because I'm gonna read Heartberries and then we'll see what's next on my reading list. When I read a book, I like to take a photo of myself with the book after I'm done reading it. So it's like my way of tracking if I've read a book or not. And I haven't taken a picture of Billy Fingers yet with me, although I did last week on my live. But I mean like just a picture of me, not a screenshot of my live. But because I've done my hair and makeup today, I'll take a picture of me after. Because sometimes, like the day I finished reading the book, I did not look my best. You know, the fuzzy hair and sweatpants. Like, I know nobody cares, but this look is only for like once a week, if that. So the girls, Aurora and Erica, the youngest, 13 and 16. Is that true? Wow, yeah. Because last week on the 30th, 10 days ago, she turned 16. That's crazy. So the 13-year-old and 16-year-old, we're supposed to get their COVID vaccinations on Friday at school, but it got postponed, so I'm not sure when they're getting them, but that is a good thing that they'll be getting that sooner than later. What else is going on? Steve is going for his eye surgery. So this week, or like the week before the surgery, which is now, he's not allowed to wear contact lenses, so he has to wear glasses for the week prior to his surgery. So it's okay, except that he has to take them off. So I guess he's nearsighted, so he can't see. I don't know. Anyways, he can't. So if someone's further away, he just sees like a blur. He has to take his glasses off to see him. But he's just, yeah, not enjoying not being able to wear contacts this week. But after his surgery, he won't need to wear contacts or glasses, so that's quite exciting. The oldest person in the house is going to have the best vision out of all of us. So that is exciting. I have to take him to that, to his surgery, and I'll just wait in the car and read my book, whether it's the Heartberries or my next book, because I don't think it'll take me from now until the 15th to read Heartberries, but yeah, I don't mind waiting a couple hours for him. So I always plan for things. So whether I have gardening magazines with me or a book on my phone to read or napping, I'm really good at sleeping anywhere at any time. And that's what I said to Fred the builder when he got here on Saturday morning. I was up to let him in, and I said, I didn't sleep well last night. I'm really tired. I'm going to go back to sleep. I'm saying this to someone who I didn't realize has a 2.5-month-old baby. And I'm saying, like, yeah, I need to go back to sleep. But anyways, he's like, well, I'm going to have to be banging and stuff. Obviously, he's building. He's a builder. And, well, actually, he's a joiner. But so I went back to sleep. And, of course, there was banging and everything, but I can sleep through anything. I told him that. I said I could, if it was an Olympic sport, I would be winning for sure. But so I went back to sleep for a few hours, and then when I woke up, I went in and said, and this is the first time, like, I've met him a few times, but this is the first time he's worked at the house. So sometimes when you make a joke, it can either put the person at ease with the people that they're working for, or it can be, like, awkward. But anyways, I went in and I was like, hey, what's all this racket? I'm trying to sleep. But yeah, we laughed, so it was all right. It is weird when you make a joke and you're by yourself, like right now, and you're like, do people get it? Are they laughing there, or am I just, who knows? So, yeah, I did not make a list of things to talk about, but that's why it's called the Rambling Hour. Steve's best friend, Stuart, is on Facebook again now, and I guess he told Steve that he watched a bit of my live last week, and he said, boy, can she talk, or whatever, and Steve's like, yeah, now you know what I live with. But I'm like, yeah, that's why it's called the Rambling Hour. But it's true, I guess, to people who, unless I hang out with you all the time, which I don't with anybody, they see me once in a while, but they don't realize how much I do talk or how much I can talk. But once I get going on a subject or something, it's hard to. And sometimes I will start talking really fast too, where people are like, stop, take a breath. But yeah, so I'm really excited about the autumn decor, and I have a few other things coming that I ordered off Amazon. And yeah, they still haven't arrived yet, but I'm excited for them. But I got these, you know, like window clings, and I got like autumn leaves that I stuck to the windows, and I really like them. So those are a new thing that I got this year off Amazon, because you know how I talked about last week how they don't sell as much here for decorating for different seasons like we do in North America. Okay, even the things they do celebrate here, like Christmas and stuff, you still don't have the. Because North America is such a consumer-driven place, we have so much you can buy and so many options that they don't even sell the equivalent here for the things that they do celebrate. They just don't decorate like we do, which they do decorate, but they don't go like crazy like North Americans. So I have to just kind of look and see what I can use for decorations and stuff. Like these pumpkins. Can you see these ones? Oh yeah, you can. These are real, and then same with the ones that are in the cornucopia. Those are little squash and pumpkins and stuff that you can buy at this season, during this season in the grocery stores, and so I can use them as decoration. And last year the kids actually, I have big pumpkins too, but the kids actually carved these little ones too, and they looked really cute. I don't know if you guys remember them from my photos last year, but yeah, so the kids can carve these as well again this year. But I use things like that for decoration. I actually ordered some fake pumpkins from Amazon, like plastic pumpkins, and they're all right. They are okay, but the biggest one is only like that, and then they're smaller than that. And it would be good because, especially with all the rain, I'd like to have some things that I could decorate outside like pumpkins. But if I put the real pumpkins outside, they'll just rot from the rain and everything else. So they're in the entranceway. And the entranceway is sort of, like, it is decorated, but the thing is that Steve started stripping the stairs to redo them. So that doesn't look like at its best. And then because we're working on the bathroom downstairs now, we slid the huge glass doors that go with the shower. They're in these huge boxes, and we slid them out of the bathroom and into the entranceway because not just for Fred the builder, but for like when we tile and put the shower in and do all the work that has to be done in the bathroom. They're just going to be in the way until they're installed. So I just said, let's put them in the entranceway and get them out of the bathroom way. And yeah, and there's no room in the garage right now because the builder put lots of lumber and stuff in the garage. So those are in the entranceway. So I haven't really taken photos of the entranceway decorations because it's not at its best. So the pumpkins are just sitting there as well. But I don't know. Everything's going to get done, and I am so excited. So in the bathroom, Fred built the closet I said that like and he's having this, like, he's doing the work at our place on his weekends, so off hours from his regular job, and so he was on Saturday, and then he has this weekend coming up, he'll have off, and then so he'll be here the weekend after that to do more work, and he'll build the shelves in the closet for me so I can put towels and everything in there. But it's just so exciting to walk in there and see something different, and know that whether, even though it happens slowly, things will eventually get done in this house. So that's exciting. We also got 24 whiskey barrels, half whiskey barrels, because me and Steve needed a few. We bought one for Amy months ago. Well, we were going to, but the place that we were going to buy them at, they didn't have the ones we wanted, so we were looking for this whole time. So we bought one for Amy on the day that would have been Amy and James's wedding if they didn't have to postpone it because of COVID. So we bought them a rose, and I can't remember what it was. It was called Just Married or something. And then we said we'd get them a whiskey barrel to put the rose in. Finally, we got those. So we had a stack of 24 out there, but Thomas bought a few for his mom, and yeah, and I'm gonna have a few. And no, Mom, we didn't have to move anything out of the garage. He just put some lumber in there, like some long, like 2x4s and stuff. So it's just in a pile. But, oops, sorry, how do I do that now? But not just that. I took everything out of the bathroom downstairs and put it in the garage because it's just in the next door. So there's like a shelf full of like all the toiletries and everything that will go in there, and all the, like, I used all the cleaning stuff, like the vacuum and the extra brooms and mop bucket and all those things were in the bathroom downstairs. So all those are in the garage right now too. So once the bathroom's done, then I can take all that stuff out of the garage, and the garage will have more room. But yeah, for right now, it's not, we can only stuff so much in there with still having a path to get through and get to the fridge that's in there and such. So, and that's the way that the builder was using, just opening the garage door, and then the door, because when you go into what is the bathroom now, it used to be a utility room, you go into it, and then the door to the garage is in there as well. So he just opened that door into the garage, and he was going through the big door of the garage into the bathroom to bring his stuff in, instead of having the front door open and having to go around. So the garage will eventually be mine and Steve's bedroom. So we would go into our bathroom through that door into our bedroom. We talked about building a wall there and having it like a little hallway, and you go into the bathroom that way, and the hallway like to our bedroom, but it'll make the room smaller, and I don't mind walking through a bathroom to get to my bedroom. Sorry, I heard somebody trying to get into the door in the dining room, which is fine if they need to let the dog in or something, but yes. What? What are you looking for? The house phone. Yeah, it's down there. Who needs the house phone? Oh, I see. Okay, well, his dad can probably pick it up after cards. I don't know. No, that's fine. Tom wanted the house phone because, so Alison came and got it, but he thinks he left his phone at his mom's. Tell me what is new. Have you ever had pumpkin pie? Do you like pumpkin? Have you tried it? Would you be willing to try it if somebody let you? Does it sound weird to you to have something like that? So today is, I think I shut my Wi-Fi off. I'm really sorry about that. Mom, I will say hi, Tom, and I'll tell him that you said happy birthday as well, as you did tell me yesterday to tell him. Yes, sorry if I was glitching or if I disappeared. I'm hoping now that my Wi-Fi is off and that I am all good. So, tell me something interesting. We're halfway through the rambling hour, but I have lost my steam and don't know what to ramble about. I usually talk about dinners and things that I've made, but I didn't make anything special today for dinner. I just, now now the house phone is ringing, which is such a weird noise because nobody uses a house phone. So, just chicken breast on big buns that were toasted with lettuce, tomato, cucumber, and light mayo, and on wholemeal buns. And the kids just ate leftover pasta with beef and soup on it. There was tomato soup on some of the pasta, and there was mushroom soup on some of the pasta with beef, ground beef, minced beef, whatever you want to call it. So Michelle says, grew my own pumpkins this year for Nikhil, that's her grandson, to experience. I'll try my hand at from... Sorry guys, I know it cut out again there. Grew my own pumpkins this year for Nikhil to experience. I'll try my hand at from scratch pumpkin filling. Well, yeah, Michelle, that's what I do too. I make my own pumpkin filling instead of buying it in the cans, because again, you can't get it in the can. I have to order it off Amazon if I get it in the cans. But it's just as easy to make it. Like, once you clean out your pumpkins, which you're going to do for making jack-o'-lanterns anyways, once the jack-o'-lanterns are done, which is kind of good for me for making pumpkin pies for American Thanksgiving for Steve's partner Jackie, her husband Steve, also named Steve, yes. He is American, so I make pumpkin pies for him for Thanksgiving, American Thanksgiving, which is in November, so it's after Halloween. So once we use them for jack-o'-lanterns, I can take them and cut up, skin them. You can either skin them before you bake the pieces or just bake it all and skin them after. But yeah, the flesh and blending it and mixing in the spices and stuff, it's so easy. And because the first pumpkin pie I made was here for Steve, like Jackie's Steve, and it was I had never made pumpkin pie in Canada before because you can just buy it so easily and other people make it and such. So, and I just really, so I don't think you'll have a problem making your own from scratch pumpkin filling. I think you'll enjoy the flavor, the freshness, and knowing that but you're ahead of me because you grew the pumpkin, so that's even more exciting. I don't have the space here to grow pumpkins, although I have grown squash and stuff, but me and Samantha at her allotment, as we've talked about before, we're gonna grow some pumpkins next year, so that's exciting. Michelle, how did your pumpkins turn out? Did you get any that were quite big, or... I meant to ask my sister Tina how her corn turned out, her gem corn as well, and I know they grew some watermelons, which was really cool. Melody says, I have started working out again. Yeah, Mel, I saw that. I hope that you're enjoying it. And Melody says, I'm fine there. It's here that it says lost connection and trying to connect again. It's done that twice. Michelle says, the audio and video aren't aligned on my end. You're a bad Chinese movie. Laugh aloud. Well, then you might just need to close your Facebook and then open it again and start viewing, because I know it happens sometimes. And Melody says it's good on mine, and Mom laughed, and Michelle said yummy because of the pumpkin pies. Yeah, there's cardamom. The pumpkin pie recipe that I use has cardamom, which is one of the spices that I use to make pilau rice as well. The yellow rice that you get with curries. Yeah, I use cardamom. So it's like a little seed pod, and then you open it and you take the little seeds out and you crush them in pestle and mortar. And I love cardamom, but I'm pretty sure that in my pumpkin pie recipe it calls for cardamom as well. So it's really exciting that a spice that I buy, that I actually get to use it for a few things in a year. So yeah, I can try finding that. I'll find my pumpkin pie recipe, Michelle, and send it to you. You can try it or you can use a different one, but let me know how your pumpkin pie turns out. Very exciting. And I do 3 different crusts. I do a wholemeal crust for Steve because he can't eat white flour because it bothers him. I do a gluten-free one in Jackie and Steve's family. Jackie's daughter is celiac, so she can't have gluten. And then for Samantha is lactose intolerant and she's a vegetarian, so I have to do a special crust for her as well, which I don't mind at all. Actually, all 3 of them turn out really, really nice. And Michelle says, I controlled my vines, so I only allowed 2 to produce. They are volleyball size. That's pretty good though, and that is what they say to do when you have, if you're gonna grow your zucchinis, what they call courgettes here, if you're going to grow them to marrow size, which is a large zucchini, then, or your squash and such, instead of letting lots of little fruits go that you, as you just said, control your vine, so take off the flowers and everything else, so that all the energy is going into those few fruits that you want to grow bigger. The other thing is, as you know, probably Michelle, but I can tell everybody else who might not know, that you get two types of flowers on the vines. You get the female and male flowers. The male ones just like have the stem and then the flower, but female ones, you'll see they'll have the stem, the flower, but there'll be a ball here that's like the fruit that you know is going to grow. So you can remove all the male flowers because they're not going to do anything. You don't want the male flowers anyways. But also, and Michelle, have you tried like with pumpkin flowers or squash flowers, or even courgette, marrow, zucchini flowers? You can take the flowers and you can cook them. I tried them a couple of years ago and they were all right, but it wasn't, and I stuffed them with some cheese or something. They were all right, but it wasn't anything that I was like, that was super yummy, good, that I'm going to do all the time. So, yeah. What else? I am so excited about my gem corn, but it's not completely ready yet. And I know the temperature is different here than it is on the prairies in Canada, but we haven't had our first frosts and stuff yet, so I'm letting the corn grow as much as it can before I have to do something about it. I have got some cobs because there was 1 or 2 stalks that had turned yellow for whatever reason, whether they got, so I brought some in, and I'm just contemplating if I want to run over to where they are. Actually, I will, because I'll show you what I did just as a quick autumn display, because you know how I said I don't have as much autumn stuff here, so I have to like improvise. So I have these apple baskets. When I was still in Canada, there was a grocery store that was totally renovating, and they were totally renovating their look, so they got rid of a bunch of stuff, and I was able to get a bunch of apple baskets, which I use the apple baskets for the haunted house and different things. So I took some of my stuffies out of my room, because I have a shelf of a few stuffies that I really like. I like owls, and this hedgehog was just too cute to not get, and he's just a huge hedgehog, but I thought, well, I need to have less stuff. So I'm going to put them in with the autumn decor. And I have some, and this is where I put all those fake pumpkins that I said that I bought from Amazon. So these are plastic, but they're still just as cute. And I put, as you can tell, all this dried corn things, and then all my gem corn is in here. So let me take one out that's really good to show you. I want it to be in focus. I don't know if I can do, I shouldn't try and do things I'm not there. Can you guys see that? Michelle, have you grown gem corn like this? You said your corn looks beautiful, but it tastes like cardboard. These ones that I grew, they're good for popcorn, but this isn't something that you would boil and eat like sweet corn. So what kind of corn did you grow? And Mom and Melody, do you know how Tina's have turned out? I'm hoping my other cobs that are still growing are going to be bigger than these ones, but I'm not going to complain, because to be honest, the ones that I grew this year were like this. I didn't even use a good cob like this for my seeds. I took the ones that didn't grow quite right and only had a few full-size seeds and stuff, so I used like my weakest little kernels to grow the corn this year. So I was happy with whatever I got, and like I said, I don't think you can see how many are in here right now, because I have them going both ways, but yeah, I'm happy with what I got already, and that's not even the main harvest of them. And so yeah, that was one of my displays that I just quickly did to make it look more autumny in my house. Kate, Mum says not sure. Melody says haven't heard how Tina's are, and I don't know if Michelle has said what kind of corn she grew yet. Oh, Michelle said I cross-pollinate all the time. Oh, I see, Michelle. Yes, that is something I learned about growing corn, that you can't grow more than one type at a time, or they will naturally cross-pollinate as well. And it's better to grow them in a block so they can pollinate, as opposed to a row where they won't be able to get to each other all the time. So you purposely cross-pollinated 2 types. I'm not sure which types, like I've never really looked into corn. This is only it's not my second year growing corn, but I haven't like grown it like, I've never wanted to be necessarily productive with my corn until the gem corn. So, okay, you grew peaches and cream, but that's one type. So you haven't cross-pollinated. You've pollinated them. You made sure that they pollinated each other, but you didn't cross-pollinate one type with another. Is that what you're saying? Peaches and cream. It sounds good. I'm sorry that it tastes like cardboard. Corn, especially like because you have such hot summers on the prairies, and corn is from Mexico. Like corn production, like is really good usually on the prairies. So that's unfortunate. I do like some good corn. We shouldn't talk about food. I haven't really eaten yet. I know I should have ate before my live because eating later isn't necessarily a good idea. I did make sure everybody else ate, but I was too focused on me getting things done and getting my workout done, and then, you know, showering and having, getting ready for my live, which is now Rambling Hour with Lisa. Let me check our time. So we're at 40 minutes, so 20 more minutes to ramble. And I'm glad that there's people on, and I don't even care if you guys are the regulars, because I love you guys, and it's great to chat with you guys, and this is what it's about, is just having a visit with you guys. So I hope that you're happy to see me, just like I'm happy to interact with you guys. Mom says, check them earlier on the vine, Michelle. So Mom, am I not mistaken that your corn, when the tops go, like the top tassels, there's a name for the hair that sticks out the top, the tassel-y hair, when that goes brown or black, like when that changes color, that's when the cob is supposed to be ready, right? Oh, I don't know why I'm waiting for an answer. Like you're just, I'll have to keep talking until you give me an answer. But yeah, I'm so excited for the corn. I even thought about, sometimes when you take the cobs off though, the stalk doesn't stay nice, but whatever stalks I have left, I can wrap some twine around them and make them as a bit of a display for the haunted house in a few weeks. Mom says yes about that, and Michelle said, no, I meant I cross-pollinate all my veggies to ensure production. Yeah, again, I'm not that, I commend you on that, but I tend to be quite lazy, so I've never actually, like, pollinated anything myself. No. So do you do a shaking, or do you take a paintbrush and actually go and put the pollen onto the, like, how do you cross-pollinate things? I'm way too lazy to do that, so I just hope that the insects do it, and if I get a good yield, I get a good yield. I just remembered actually that I should probably, I have big sacks of potatoes. They're just the big sacks of, when I get the compost, like, they call it compost here, but we call it potting soil in Canada, but it's like the big bags of whatever, compost, potting soil, whatever you want to call it, to, you know, grow things in when you don't have enough of your own. Sometimes I slit the bag open this way, and then I flip them inside out and use them. Well, actually, then they're black inside, but I've used them for different things. I line my raised beds with them. I have used them to make like little bog areas that are covered, and I grow boggy plants in there because it's like, it'll stay moist in there just with a few holes in the bottom. It'll stay more moist than the ground itself. But if I take them like the long way and cut the top, then I have a couple that, and I roll them down. I turn them inside out so they look black, and then roll the sides down, and I grow potatoes in them, and then I add soil and unroll it and add more. So they're about a meter high, maybe. So it's at like 2.5, 3 feet high. Anyways, my point is that there's no more plants on the potato sacks. I should probably shake them out and dig them out and see how many potatoes I actually got. That was my point. And that is why it's called the Rambling Hour, because it takes me 7 years to get to one point, and usually I end up talking about a different subject. So, I have no clue. My brain is just empty at the moment. Q-tip. Oh, right. I forgot what we were talking about. So you use a Q-tip, like a, what do they call them here? All these, like, you think I'd speaking a different language, because I have to think of the UK version of a Q-tip, cotton bud. They call them a cotton bud. So I see that you use that to pollinate. I'm just gonna let the dog in because she's whining at the door. Hang on 1 second. Can I help you? Would you like to come in? Are you gonna come and say hi, Lena? Oopsie. You come here? Who wants to say hi to my Lena? Lena? Leanie Beanie. Michelle says, we are so low on bees now. I've seen maybe a dozen in my flowers this year. Oh, that's really, really sad. Really sad. But listen, you growing any kind of flowers and veg in your garden is going to increase the chances of more of them. So you're doing your part, and that's all we can do. Lena, come here. Come here. It is great when you see a bee in your garden and it's on a flower and you think that bee wouldn't be there and have that flower if I didn't plant that flower. So you feel really good about that and pollinators. Lena, come here. Come on. Come on. Good girl. Hi. Oh, you lazy little girl. She came over and she started sniffing the apple basket with the corn and stuff in it. Melody says, hi, Lena. She's a good girl. She's wandering around the living room now. Yeah, now she's lying down. She was out of here because when Thomas came home, he came home with some treats for her. So I think he gave her an ostrich leg to chew on. But she's obviously done with her ostrich leg. So now she wanted to come back in the living room to lie down. So anyways, it was really cool going through all my clothes, and I'm really excited about things that I fit again. And I have so much nice clothes that it is a bit frustrating when some of the clothes is too big for me now. And I was like, dang, I never even got to wear that. But I'm not going to complain, but it is kind of like all this nice clothes and nowhere to go. You know, when I was in high school and stuff, I wish I had more of a wardrobe like that, and I'm not complaining. I was fine. It's not like I only had one pair of jeans and one shirt or something, but it's like that now. Like I have all this nice clothes and nowhere to go. I don't have a job where I go out and wear normal clothes or go to school and wear normal clothes, but even doing my lives, at least I get to dress up a little bit. And one day I'll get to go out again. Like, I guess, like I said, if we're going out for dinner tomorrow, I still get so anxious. I know I'm double vaxxed, but I still get anxiety about going out and being around people, even if we are just sitting with our family. But yeah, so I get to wear something tomorrow. So that'll be fun. And Michelle says, neat way to grow potatoes, but I'm guessing she meant neat way to grow potatoes. Yeah, well, the thing about potatoes is like, if you grow potatoes in your bed and then you don't grow potatoes there, even little ones just stay there and then you end up with more potatoes, which is fine, but I tend to use the same soil for potatoes, even if I add more to it to give it nourishment and stuff like that. So, and the other thing is because I'm growing stuff in raised beds, which I have grown potatoes in there before, it's just really frustrating to like dig all the dirt out of the raised bed in that area where the potatoes are. To find all the potatoes, so I find it just easier to grow them in a container or a sack. So yes, but Samantha grew potatoes at her allotment, so she had rows of potatoes and she got some from there. And actually when we were cleaning up the allotment and taking some of the weeds out and stuff, there was potatoes that were there from the previous owner. So that's what I mean, like sometimes you'll find potatoes that where you didn't even plant potatoes, or where you have planted potatoes but it's been a few years since you've had them there. So I hope everyone's good. So my birthday's coming up as well on the 21st. I'll be 43, which is crazy. I was watching, Aurora was talking to Allison today in the kitchen, and like I said, they're 16 and 17. Allison will be 18 in January. And I was just kind of observing them talking to each other and thinking how it wasn't very long ago that I was the teenager with my siblings being teenagers in our house. And I think, did my mom and dad feel the same way I do, where I don't feel very old? And yet my kids are already the teenagers. So that makes me, like, life is a long time, but at the same time it goes by so quickly, the phases and everything. And I don't mean like, I mean obviously if I started having kids now, then I would be in the mothering age, but for an average, you know, normal thing, like I've already done the babies and now they're teenagers, and it's going by so quickly. Mind you, even if I live till I'm in my 80s, I'm only halfway through my life. So yeah, I know, Michelle, you're funny. That is exactly like it is, like as if this is like just my house clothes. Michelle said, "We don't mind if you overdress." I know. I don't have a life. I don't go out. I wear like the same 10 pairs of sweatpants and the same 10 t-shirts basically, like for most of the week. No, you know what I mean. I go through those ones, and usually my hair is back in a pony. So when I had a shower today, I had a big gob of like hair. You know, when you put conditioner or whatever in your hair and you take all the hair clump out. And Steve saw it and he said, "Oh, why is there so much? Are you going bald?" And I said, "No, but if I keep my hair in a ponytail for like 3 or 4 days, you lose 100 hair a day. And even if I have a shower, sometimes I don't even wet my hair because it's just annoying to have to, you know." So think about that, 4 days, that's 400 hair that have to come out so I can get a good ball of hair. And I was taught this in my adult life, which I wish I would have known this sooner, but when you take the hair out, you have it on your fingers and you take it off, but you can roll it like this in your hands and it makes like a ball, and then it's easier to just throw on the bottom of the shower or whatever, and then you can pick them up and put them in the bin when you get out of the shower. But what a great idea, instead of just having it and then you're trying to get it off your fingers and everything else. Somebody taught me to roll it into a ball like this, and it works out really well. So people with hair in the shower, that's something you can try and see how it works for you. Gonna have a drink, not wine, but pop as per usual. So cheers. I hope everyone's having a good Sunday and that you guys have a good week coming up as well. I don't think I have anything planned for this upcoming week besides getting things in order for the haunted house. There's something else that I thought about. Oh, sewing. I still haven't opened the sewing machine that Steve bought me at the beginning of the COVID thing for us to make masks at home as a family. We started making them, and the sewing machine I was using broke, and then we never got back to them. So I thought, like, I really need to do that. Open the sewing machine and use it. So yeah, the other day when the whiskey barrels got delivered, it was like 3 deliveries I was waiting for that day, so I had to be home. There was, Thomas bought himself a safe for his room, a big safe. I can't even remember what he said he wanted it for, but whatever. He's a working man. He's got his money, he can buy what he wants. But he bought a safe, so I had to wait for that. And then the whiskey barrels being delivered, and the same day, new washing machine. And that is very exciting because our old washing machine broke, which isn't okay, but they've had it since before I moved here. So it's over 10 years old probably, because and so no warranty on it. So we got a new washing machine, and I have to say it is the little things in life, because even a washing machine isn't cheap, but it makes life so much better. So I'm so grateful to have a washing machine that works, and it's quite exciting. The only thing is that it plays a song when the washing machine is done, and that's great, but we got it matching the dryer that we bought like a year ago or whatever. And it plays the same song, which is kind of annoying, because then I hear it, so I know something's done, but I don't know if it's the washing machine or the dryer that's done. I wish the songs were a bit different, but I'm not going to complain about that. They're still both really good things. And I know the washing machine is, I can't remember if the dryer is, but the washing machine's like a smart one where you can hook it up to your phone. So I don't know, they're both Samsung, so we'll see how that goes when you hook it up to your phone. Michelle says, gotta go, bye. Okay, bye Michelle, love you, thanks for tuning in. Have a good night, and we'll see you next week or sooner on Facebook. And give Nikhil a hug for us. And yeah, so I'm going to be going soon too, because the rambling hour is coming to an end. We have 7 minutes left for me to ramble. So if there's anything you want me to tell you, talk about. I still haven't got off my ass and found a guest for the rambling hour, so I need to do that. Do you know, I think about like Brenna and Lisa Vreeland from Florida, and like all the guests that I've had, and Meg and everybody and other people who I want to be my guests who just haven't had time yet. And it's so exciting to me, like, that I've had them on here and that you guys have got to know them and see them. And it just like, not only is there everybody else that I want to introduce you guys to, but even having them back would be great. So I really should stop being a wiener butt. No, what was it? A swamp donkey. Oh, I heard that in a movie we watched yesterday, and I was like, that I like that word. And then Steve told me, I said, that's your new nickname, and I said, no. And then there was somebody that we were talking about that we're not necessarily fond of, or fond of their attitude. So then he said, well, we'll call that person Swamp Donkey. And I said, no way, I like the name too much to give it to, they don't deserve the name, because I like the name Swamp Donkey. So I need to stop being a swamp donkey and get my ass in gear and talk to people who I want as my guests on here, whether they've been on here already before or it's their first time. So if you're watching this and you know that we've talked about it before, or you'd like to be my guest and let me introduce you to my friends and family, then that would be a wonderful. Message me and we will do that. Mom, I'm not going yet. I have a couple minutes. I have like 5.5 minutes. So don't rush me out of my live. Just kidding. Do you guys want to see me juggle some pumpkins? No, because I can't juggle. I can't juggle and I don't have coordination. So it would just be entertainment for you guys. And I'm very clumsy, so I'd probably end up like smacking myself in the face with it or something. I guess, you know, might be entertaining, but I'm just thinking of Thanksgiving dinner and something that I've had in Canada, but what's the other word? So turnip, they call it swede here, which me and Steve have looked it up, why they don't sell turnip here, but they sell swede. Swede is short for Swedish turnip, so, but they have, but what's the other thing? Oh, okay, so like sweet potato, but there's also like, not parsnips. Parsnips look like carrots. What's the other thing like sweet potato? And you mash it, and then some people have made like with marshmallow on top, and then you put it under the grill or the broiler, and you make it all nice and crispy on top. What's the other thing? Yams. Yes, yams. Is that it? Yams, sweet potato. I believe that is. So I've had that once in Canada. I don't know if I've had it with the marshmallows, but I've always candied yams. Yeah, that's what I want to try making that. So, and I think that sweet potato and yams are not the same, but quite close to each other. So I think I could make it like that. And they do sell marshmallows here, so I should try making that. It sounds, yeah, Melody says so good, but I mean, I guess it's the same if you think about pumpkin pie and then putting whipped cream on top. Even though some people might think pumpkin in a pie is kind of weird, but it would be similar to like yams or sweet potato with something sweet on top like marshmallows. So yes, just thinking about all the wonderful Thanksgiving dinners that people are eating, and I hope you enjoy it. I'm not sure what I'm gonna have for dinner yet, but I'll find something. But I'm gonna go and get snuggly in bed after I'm done my live and read my book or watch some Gardener's World. We'll see what happens. Either one, I'll probably end up falling asleep because Steve's not home, and I'll just be like, yeah. So, I love you guys, and I'm sure I still have a few minutes, but I might as well do yeah, it's close enough to an hour, right? And if we have nothing else to mention, I hope you guys have a really good Thanksgiving in Canada, friends and family, and everywhere else around the world. Anybody who's watching this, remember that it's important to be thankful all year round and grateful for what you have. It's more important to be grateful for what you have than to be ungrateful for what you don't have. So take inventory, be happy with what you have, and know that it can be a lot worse, and life is pretty darn good. So, especially if you're watching this, because that means you have internet access and a device to watch it on. And if you're wasting time watching me, then you really have a good life, because you don't need to be like you have some downtime if you're watching me. So have a very good Sunday, a very good Thanksgiving, and I will see you guys next. I don't know if I'm taking a week, a Sunday off next week or not, but I'll post obviously if I am going to do a live. I can't see any reason that I need to take a week off, but we'll see what happens. All right, so this is it for season 4 of the Rambling Hour, and I love you guys, and we'll see you next week. Bye, love you too, and what else? Have a good week. Bye.